Nightbot, where are you? Hey, Linda. Nightbot still hasn't joined. I guess he's on strike since it's Christmas Eve. Oh, oh well. So I am just bored since I don't have any keep sticking my knit needle in my hair. Since Luna just left to go back home, her mom and dad finished doing whatever it was they had to do. My hair is crazy because I've been sweating a lot today when I was out in the garden. You knitting a shawl? I'm working on my son's fingerless gloves still because Luna, I would have been probably finished with this glove and halfway done with the other glove, but Luna brought me her baby doll. And grandma, my baby doll head is cold. She doesn't have any hair. So the doll baby don't have no hair. It's one of the little bald doll babies. So I made this little hat and I made her some yarn hair that I attached to the inside of the hat. So I thought that was the end of the doll baby makings today. I need to cut this or weave in this in. Then she comes back, Grandma, my doll baby needs a dress. And so I made a little dress. This top part is knit, just garter stitch, and then the rest of it was crochet. And so then she goes, Grandma, my baby, you can see her butt. So then I had to make her some little pantaloons to hide her butt. So this doll baby got a whole brand new outfit and a haircut. And I was like, where's my new outfit? Where's my haircut? And now I don't want to play with it. I have never been one for playing with dolls or making clothes for dolls and stuff. And this didn't take long. Probably took at the most, with all the changes she wanted. Nightbot finally joined. So it probably only took about 2 hours to do everything. And I'm very happy with the results. Yeah, I was surprised. Now I can see why people like making clothes for dolls because 2 hours you got panties, a dress, and a hat and hair. Whereas for a child or an adult, you're spending a couple of days making those items. So I can understand why some people love just designing and making stuff for dolls. So, but yeah, so now it's back to working on my son's fingerless gloves. And this colorway is real pretty. And so this is a 1x1 rib down here, and it's Mary Maxim Elements. I bought this yarn probably 2 years ago, I think. And this colorway, I was on like their sock club where you get like a couple of skeins a month, and the colorway is called I don't know if it's gonna focus. Desert. It ain't gonna focus. Let's see. No. The colorway is called Desert. And I have two skeins of this, but it's only gonna take the one skein to make both of the gloves. There's 151 yards in each skein, 80% acrylic, 20% wool, and it's made in Turkey, and it feels so good, and it's a springy yarn. It says it's a DK weight, but it knits up more like fingering. But I'm a tight knitter, so for me it's knits up kind of like fingering, and I'm using size 2 um DPNs. I prefer DPNs um when I'm making socks and gloves. And these are my carbons. I think I got 2 sets of these, and one set is in some socks that have been lingering around for a couple of years. Like I said, I started these yesterday. I worked out in the yard most of yesterday and came back in for an hour or two last night. I worked on them. I worked on them for like an hour this morning before I went out into the garden. I was waiting for the frost to melt and wait for Luna to get here. And so I worked on for about an hour this morning. So fingerless gloves, I'll get done with his gloves probably by tomorrow night if I keep working on them. Um, at the most Monday or Tuesday I'll finish his gloves. And hey Darcia, but I have socks, which is fingerless gloves or just a sock, basically a sock. It's a shorter sock, basically. But I'll do these fingerless gloves like nobody's business. But for some reason, I lose the mojo when I'm working on socks. I don't know. I don't know why. It's like a mental thing. Socks are easy. They're not hard. But it's like I don't know. It's just I'd rather trade my hand spun yarn to people who love knitting socks, and they make me my socks and they get free yarn. It's a win-win situation. Maybe that's got me spoiled. I don't know. But I have a couple of pair of socks. One sock I only have to do the heel and the toe, and they're done. My friend cranked out the tube for them on her sock machine. I just have to do the toe and the heel, and I still haven't done them. So how are you, ladies? Are you ready? Are you ready for tomorrow? Yeah, like that's the only thing I don't like about the holidays is the kids are out of school and the parents aren't really paying them any mind, and they let them run around in the neighborhood doing whatever they want to do, screaming and hollering. You think somebody out there trying to kidnap them or kill them? I just ain't never seen nothing like it. And like you want to scream and holler, go scream and holler in your yard, in front of your house, where your parents can easily get to you. Why go and do it in front of other people's houses and yards? I don't have no little kids no more, and I am not a big proponent of Santa Claus. So people, I make stuff for people all year long, and that is what I do. I I do not believe in the commerciality of Christmas, and I don't believe in giving hardworking parents and grandparents efforts, giving that to someone who is fictional, giving them the credit for all your hard work. So I believe in that the big ticket items come from human beings. You write it on the gift from mama, from daddy, from grandma, from grandpa, from aunt and uncle. And the little things like the back to school clothes, the underwear, the socks, the school supplies, that stuff can come from the fictional character. Um, I think that is one of the reasons why kids don't appreciate their parents the way they should, because they don't realize the suffering that their parents and the things their parents have gone and done without and whatnot to make sure those kids had a nice Christmas. And then once those children become adults or they become of age to know about the fictional character, then those children end up having issues, not knowing how to deal with themselves and stuff. And some children end up needing therapy because their whole childhood, all the things they've received for 8 or 9 years of their life, or 10 or 12, depending on how long the lie is perpetrated, has been a lie. All this time, they believe some fictional elf has been coming to their house, leaving them all these nice things. And then they find out it was their parents who have been suffering, arguing over money, struggling to make ends meet. They find out it's their parents who provided all these things for them. And some kids feel guilty about that stuff and they end up in therapy and stuff, or having trouble dealing with it. That's why I believe that while you might want your child to believe in the elf, it's better for that child to believe in human beings, in their parents and their family, and let the elf give them simple things. That's just my me. So yeah, that's what my family call me the they call me the Grinch. Or they'll buy me like little shirts that have like the little mean elf with his arms crossed, like stuff like that. But it's out of love. So how much last minute stuff are y'all working on? Or are y'all pretty much done? Hey Ola Joe, how are you? Are you ready, Ola Joe? You ready for them grandbabies? You're done, Darcia? Yay! I should have told my husband to get some wine. You ready? Are you laughing? Yeah, should have had him pick up some wine since it's just me and him. And all our children are adults now. Our baby, he's like what, 24, 24, 25. And I really like, I might go on the Mary Mountain and see if they have some more of this colorway because I'm really liking the way it looks. I could probably even do cables and the cables will show up good on this one. It has enough of a light and dark on it. Darcia said she was done 2 weeks ago. I was moving some of my lilies today to their new spot, and because them disrespectful bushes I've been trying to kill since we moved here, they going down this year. So I'm moving my lilies away from where they are because once a month I'm gonna be dumping a jug of Clorox over there on them roots. That's my husband sneezing, and those things are going down. They're gonna die, die, because they're too close to the foundation of the garage, and there's also a conduit that's buried over there. So I don't want to dig over there and try to dig them out because I want to risk. I don't know. I don't know how the wiring if how it goes down through there. I don't want to risk cutting into that conduit that goes to the barn. So Ola Joe said, "Bless you."
Thank you.
He said, "Thank you." So I don't want to risk cutting into that wiring and electrocute myself. So I'm gonna be Cloroxing the roots. I've exposed them by digging up my lilies. I still got like 3 clumps of lilies to try to get from over there. If not, I've moved enough of them that I don't have to worry about sacrificing some. These those are lilies that I brought with me to Virginia from my mom's house, and my mom got hers from her mom's house, and her mom got hers from her mom's house. I don't think the ones at my grandma's house are there anymore. So my mom, but they're still my mom's are still at her house, and the ones I have. And I think I don't know for sure, but I have to check. But I think my little sister, I think she had some. Not my sister Michelle, my other sister. I think she had some at her house. I'm not sure though. But yeah, um, I should probably next time I go home move some onto my little sister's property too, just so there'll be other areas that have those lilies growing. And these are the old school ones, the ones that have the real tall foliage, and they're beautiful flowers, beautiful, beautiful flowers. So I should take some and put them inside Michelle's flower borders, and that way there'll be another area that they're growing at. And I had my little helper out there with me for a little while today, asking me a bazillion questions, screaming every time she dug up a worm. Grandma, Grandma, look, Grandma, look, it's a worm, it's a worm. Oh boy, we had fun though. It's always fun. Her little pink shovel. So, so that's what it's looking like so far. And I gotta take it to about here on my pinky finger. So that's about mm, 2 to 3 more inches, 2.5 to 3 more inches of just straight up knitting, and then I'll pick up the stitches along the thumb gusset to finish his thumb. This is 48 stitches, DK weight yarn on size 2. So they and this is like a pretty, this is like a basic fingerless glove pattern. Um, this is like 2.25 inches of ribbing. Then I did, there's 13 rows from where I started the thumb gusset right here. And then I did the thumb gusset until increases until I had 17 stitches on the thumb gusset, and then I put them on waist yarn. And and then what you do is the row after you put them on the waist yarn, that next row, or that same row after you get the thumb part on the waist yarn, you increase back by 3 stitches, because you start your thumb gusset with 3 stitches, and then you got to put those 3 stitches back in this part that's going up the fingers. You got to get your 3 stitches back. So every 10 stitches I did a, what do they call it, a front and back increase for every 10 stitches, and then I got my 3 stitches back, and then that way your this part here has the same stitch count as this part right here. So, and you just knit until I think I'm gonna do a 2 by 1 rib at the top, so it'll be even more stretchy. Um, and it won't be as compact as the 1 by 1 rib down here. So once I get to the part where it's long enough. So now this is like just the boring part of just knitting and knitting. So you can like do this while you're watching TV or while you're chilling, talking to friends. Um, and I got my handy dandy notebook. So I wrote down the information. Like I write down the information. So when I did Marissa's fingerless gloves with the 1 by 1 rib, I wrote down the yarn I used, how many stitches I started with for hers. Like for her, I don't know if y'all can read that, but for hers I did 38 stitches. For my husband's I did 40 stitches. And then for my son, because of theirs were with worsted weight yarn, and his is with DK weight yarn. So his that's the 48 stitches for his. No, I prefer DPNs when I'm working in the round. I like using the 5 needles, my stitches, because I like using even numbers for my stitch counts. So I have 12 stitches on each needle, and then I have my working needle that I use to knit with. There are people who prefer to use um circulars, 9-inch circulars or 6-inch circulars when they working around for gloves and socks and stuff. I don't like using these for because I have big hands and long fingers, and these little needles they dig into my palm and they hurt. So I prefer using the DPNs over using the circulars. I like using circulars when I'm doing hats. Um, until I get to the part where I'm decreasing for the crown, and that's when I switch over to DPNs on hats. And I like using circulars when I'm doing sweaters and stuff like that. Except on the sleeves, I do my sleeves. If I do a sweater, I do my sleeves on my larger DPNs, which are like the 8-inch. I'm trying to see if I have some out. They're like 8-inch. Yeah, these the longer DPNs when I'm working on a sweater, and I do my sleeves. So it's personal preference. A lot of people don't like using DPNs because they end up with ladders, but because I use DPNs all the time, I don't have ladders when I'm doing socks or fingerless gloves. And ladders are like an area on the side where your stitches are real loose. And as you can see, I don't have that issue because I use DPN so much that I know how to tighten my stitches up on the corners. It's like it's like you do it so much that it's like what's the word I'm looking for? Muscle memory or habit. You just know to pull that stitch on the corner. Like this is a corner right here. You just know to pull that stitch a little tighter to make sure you don't have a ladder. But no, you don't have to use all these needles unless you're like decreasing for a hat or something like that, and you're doing the top, and you're unless you have the small circulars, and then even then you don't really have to. I don't think they use DPNs that much when they do their decreases. Second nature, yes, yes. But I'm getting excited about my garden next year. Um, we're still in the process of moving and rotating the old mulch pile. Still got some stuff on it that we got to move over to where the new mulch pile is going to be at, and then I got to spread that the mulch that's ready, the compost that's ready. I got to spread it over onto the brick garden. It's the one that's surrounded by the bricks. I got all my counter lilies and my elephant ears. I got them moved and replanted because they grew like crazy this year because it was so warm for so long. It's like they had an extra long growing season, and so they had basically filled up the brick they were in until they were taking the shape of the brick, that side of the brick. And so my husband had to break the brick for us to get them out. But they've been rescued and moved and replanted. And I have some gladiolas in one of the bricks. I can't remember which one they're in because they've already died back and everything. So when they come up this year after they flower, I'm going to be taking them out of the bricks too, and then moving them to a different area so they're not stuck in the bricks. Then I think I'll put something like radishes in the bricks because they're fast growing and you're going to be pulling them out to eat them, so you don't have to worry about them, like being a perennial or something, growing new bulbs and stuff or growing new into that area. Just put something in there that you're going to be harvesting out of there, like mustards and mustard greens maybe and stuff like that. So have you caught any sales, Ola Joe? I'm still trying to find me some dark green yarn. It's like they sell out of it. They're selling out of it so fast. They have plenty of that. I've been finding the patty green yarn, but not like the real dark greens, like those the blue greens, the real dark blue greens, or the real dark honey greens, because they're kind of Christmassy colors. So I guess people have been buying it out to make like Christmas stuff and stuff. We're just buying it up because it's there. I should have put a marker in there so I would know. And I got about 2 inches. Let me see. All right. Okay. Let me put a stitch marker in here so I don't know. All right. Love crafts. Okay. You got a link in your description over on your channel? Your affiliate link? Okay. Now let me forget. I'll swoop over there after I end this and go over there and check out their site. And the other thing I wanted to do was I had my banana plants that were right behind that like on the side of the garage, between the house and the kitchen area. I went ahead and I cut all those back down to the ground because I'm trying to kill them off over there. Because I had what I call it the banana forest is the area when we first put them when we got them from Miss Laura, and so we still had a banana forest area. So I don't need banana plants right there, and I want to reclaim that little spot for like my bulbs and stuff. And there's also a couple of my lilies right there too. So the lilies are fine right there, but I wanted to put like different bulbs over there in that spot again. Um, some more tulips and like since the gladiolas are tall, I could put them in the back, and then I could put some shorter plants right there, like some tiger lilies or tulips or something right there. So, but I gotta get those banana plants out of there. So I went ahead and cut them down. And I'll just every time they try to send a new frond up, I'll just cut it, and it'll probably take a couple of months, but then they'll just die. I can hear people now, oh, just dig them. Nah, you want them to be dug up, you come here and you dig them up. But those things are tenacious. They are tenacious. I know. I ain't trying to dig them up. Mm-mm. I got plenty of them, and they make plenty of pups. So I don't need to try to dig them suckers up. Michaels and Annie's. I'll look around Annie's too. But my husband, he went over to Michael's the other day for me, and he saw the patty green. They were only like it was a Carons, I think, and I don't want any of the Carons because I don't want the shininess of it. They didn't have like like they used to have like that really dark green. It was like a dark, almost like midnight green. It was perfect for the Philly Eagles' new color. In the Caron, in the big pounder, they used to have it, and now you can't even hardly find it anywhere. Like you rarely see it anymore. So I don't know if they discontinued that color or what. But they had like the shiny Caron stuff. I didn't want that. Mm, write that down. Make a note for myself. Full of Joe Lovecraft affiliate. Okay. Annie's. Okay. Because the person that I'm making that scarf and hat for, they are not wool worthy. I don't think so. I don't even want to risk it. Or I could order it from Nitpicks or somewhere, but I don't even want to risk making something for somebody and then they don't. And it's guys too, so they might not think about it, you know, and just throw it in the wash machine. And we all have heard of those horror felted item stories, so I don't even want to go there. Nah, you'll be getting a credit. That way I don't have to worry about you destroying it. Like my son's gloves, like these have wool in them, but he's my son, so he knows if it needs to be washed. Bring the mama. she'll, she'll wash it for you. I mean, it's not a lot of wool content, but it's enough wool content that it'll fill. It's just like I've been trying to find, see if somebody has some of this. This was those colors, that Tweety colors that Studio Stitched by Nicole released right before Michaels bought AC Moore out and closed them all down. And I had two skeins of it, and I made my husband this really long scarf, and I made him some fingerless gloves. Well, he lost one of the fingerless gloves, so I've been trying to see if anybody has this colorway, and I was gonna swap, some handspun yarn for a skein of that colorway, but it doesn't look like anybody has any, which sucks. So I did see some that's similar to this, but it's wool over on Knit Picks. Um, so if I ordered that to see how closely it matches. If it matches, I'll just knit him a new pair with the wool, and I'll just take this apart and use the scraps in another project. Yes, I missed that yarn. I loved it. It wasn't splitty. It was super soft. It was always warm. I mean, I would buy the Studio by Nicole before I would buy Hobby Lobby. I loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Hey, Avar, how are you? Felicia. I love the Studio by Nicole. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. And I would go. I was hoping when Michaels bought out AC Moore that they would keep that line of yarn, like maybe get rid of the loops and threads, and use the, because it was so popular, and it had to be a moneymaker. So I'm like, why? Why would you let that yarn line go? You know, because I remember when they sold it right before they shut down the AC Moore over in Virginia Beach. There was a lady out there with a U-Haul, and she had one of those trailer things attached to the U-Haul. And she went in there. It was her husband, I guess, and somebody else with carts. They had carts full of that studio. They were clearing the aisles, and the people were bringing boxes out from the back. They were buying it all up, buying it all up. When me and my husband went in there, because I went in there to get some of the I already used what I had the last time I made something for my daughter. But they had this a color like this. That's pretty close. That dark pumpkin color. And the Studio by Nicole, that's what I have been using the last couple of years to make gifts for my little sister. That burnt orange. It has a little more shine than this had on it. And that's what I was using to make when I make gifts for my little sister, because that's her color. And when we went in there was only two skeins of that on the shelf, and I grabbed both of them. And that was the last yarn that I got from the AC Moore before it closed down, was those two skeins of the burnt orange to make stuff for my sister. So now I have to get, whenever we go to Michael's, the Craft Smart, because the Craft Smart is really soft now. The Craft Smart, I'm pretty sure it's made in Turkey now. Let's see. Yep, made in Turkey. So the Craft Smart is made in Turkey now. And this Craft Smart feels a lot like the Studio by Nicole, how it used to feel. It just doesn't have the shine of the Studio. The Studio by Nicole had like a little bit of a shine to it. Not like not shiny like Caron Simply Soft, but it had just like just a little bit of shine to it, just enough to catch it in the sunlight to catch the eye. but not like not like the shininess of Caron Simply Soft. Girl, yes, she was clearing everything Studio by Nicole off them shelves, and they were bringing boxes out from the back for her. She was buying it all up. I don't know if they were like selling on eBay or if she loved it so much she wanted to support her and get as much as she could. I don't know, but obviously she had the money to afford it. I was like, wow, wow. I couldn't believe it, but now I understand where she was going with that. I understand. I can imagine, and she's knitting or crocheting with it, and it's just her favorite yarn. She could just go out to wherever she stores it and pretty much pull out any color she wants. No, this is like a burgundy tweed. This is it's not great. It's like a burgundy color, but it was that earth tone. But it wasn't. This isn't the bulky though. This was the worsted weight one. This was a 4. They might have said it was a 5 because of the tweed, but it was not. This was a straight up worsted weight. I tried to find the label for it, but I didn't. I didn't have it. I had a label for that yellow that I had got for it, that I had used for a baby gift, but I didn't have the label for this one. I don't know if it was called wine or Bordeaux. It had like I would have just called it burgundy tweed, but they probably had like a different name for it. Let me see. See, Walmart smart. Every time you pull up that Walmart, it be showing up over there. The name, the Ravelry used to have it. Let me see. Yeah, I guess that was the name of it. Earth Tone was the name of it. The colorway. Yeah, so that's the one, earth tone. So that's the colorway, earth tone. Or it could have been maple leaf. That one looks darker. Yeah, that is it. Maple leaf. No, this is more of a brownish red though. Let me see. Auburn. Yes. The Auburn. The Auburn one looks just like this one. So I think it's maybe Auburn. The Auburn one. That colorway is close. No, it's definitely not the Purple Heart. So my guess is it's gonna be either the maple leaf or the Auburn is that colorway. More than likely it's the Auburn because that's darker. Because I'm looking at them on Etsy, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be. It's between the maple leaf and the Auburn. It's hard to tell with some of these people's pictures. Let me see the Merlot. Could be that too. If the Merlot, this picture of the Merlot, this girl took. Like you can hold them side by side, and that's it. So if you have the Merlot, then yes. Oh yeah, type the word purple, y'all, and it'll share your links out. Let's see. Merlot. Yep, type the word purple, and Nightbot will share out your link. Type purple, Ola Joe, so Nightbot will share out your link. There you go. Thank you for coming by, hanging out with me, and thank you for looking at your stash for me. Y'all enjoy y'all Christmas. Enjoy your families. Oh, I finished. Let me show y'all. Show y'all what my granddaughter had me working on today. So when we came in the house from working in the garden, she went down there and she still got toys and stuff here that her and her cousins play with. And so she pulled out this little ugly doll baby. and she come bring it to me talking about, grandma, my baby, she don't have no hair. My baby needs some hair. So I made this little hat and I attached some brown yarn to the inside of the hat so her baby will have hair. Okay. So then I handed it to her and I thought I was done because she just wanted some hair for her baby, right? Grandma, my baby naked. My baby need clothes. Make my baby a dress. I want her to have a top and skirt. I said, I'll make her a dress. I said, I'm not making her no top and skirt. I'll make her a dress. So I made her a little dress. I knit this top portion right here and I crocheted her skirt. I thought I was done. I handed it to her and I went on about my business. So here she comes again. Grandma, you can see my baby's butt. My baby butt crack showing, Grandma. She needs some panties. So I made her baby some pantaloons. So I made her some little shorts, pantaloons, and and now I don't want to play with it. Ain't that something? And I'm not a doll baby person, but this was so like everything was done on the fly, no pattern, just being creative for your grandchild. And I'm like, this skirt part, it was a little too it wouldn't quite reach around the little hips. So all I did was put like some single crochet, some half double crochets on the side, and picked up the stitches and joined it at the top. Then I took my knitting needles and picked this part up here flat, picked this part up and knit this up to the neckline, and then I bound that off with my crochet hook, and then I just took and used a crochet hook and I did 2 rows of single crochet and another 2 rows of single crochet, and then I did a chain across the back, and I just went back and forth, and then I just use the needle to join that part to the back part of the skirt, and boom, I had a dress. And I'm like, that was so freaking easy. Now I understand why they people who are addicted to knitting and crocheting doll clothes, because it's so, in less than 2 hours I had a whole outfit for a doll baby. I ain't made no blanket. I ain't made no shoes or socks for. I got some leftover sock weight yarn, so I might knit her some socks, a couple of little naked. Cause then she'll be, grandma, my baby needs some shoes. So yeah, cheers, y'all. My apple cider. But I was like, cause I was supposed to be working on my son's gloves. Instead, I'm in here making doll stuff for the grandbaby. And yeah, but that's how it is. Well, she'll enjoy it, and so will Chunk Chunk. Cause Chunk Chunk likes toting doll babies around. She kills them, but she totes them around. She'll just throw them down. She get tired of them. You hear something hit the floor, and you look, and she done threw the doll baby down. I said, I'm glad it ain't no real baby. You could have killed it. Little bald head doll baby. I'm like, Lord help us. And I know she has her other grandparents bought her the African American version of this little bald head doll baby. So, but I think that one is at her house, the little African American one. So, with my luck, she'll be found it and brought it over here tomorrow. Wanting clothes for it too. It killed me though. Her butt crack is showing. I'm like, oh my god. Now I got to make freaking underwear for a doll baby. But my new Christmas outfit. Oh my goodness. So now I got my stitch marker in there. I'll know pretty much when I go 2 inches. So use my little progress marker right there. So I'm pretty sure. I didn't write that down. That colorway, maple leaf. Oh no, what was it? Merlot tweed, Merlot. It's a red purple. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's it. It looks just like it, just like it. But this I wonder if Mary Maxim still has some more of this colorway, because these would be some pretty socks too. There's only had two skeins of this, and it's gonna take both. This one skein is gonna take to make his fingerless gloves. Um, and I wear a 10.5 wide in women's, but I need not have to worry about it anyway, because it takes me. I just am not into socks, knitting socks, even though it's not hard. It's easy to do. Kitchener stitch is easy to do. Afterthought heels are easy to do, and I love afterthought heels. Love them. And but he only have one more skein of that, so I'm gonna check and see if they still have this colorway. The desert, it's called Desert, and if they do, I'm gonna order another ball of that, and maybe I'll get over my aversion to knitting socks long enough to knit me a pair of socks using this, because it is pretty. I didn't think it was going to work out like this, but it is gorgeous. And even if I did cables in this colorway, it would be easy to see the cables. You know, like sometimes you get a variegated yarn, and it's just but this you would be able to easily see. See how you can see the ribbon? Cables will show up really nice on this colorway too. So yeah, I I'll make tube socks for my friends, for house socks and 4-weight yarn for my friend's husband. I'll go, like, I like using that yarn at Michael's, the loops and thread, the bulky one in the pretty colors, and make tube socks with that for house, like house socks. And I haven't made him a pair because his wife started making them for him too. So I haven't made him a pair in a while. So you finished all your projects, Felicia? Everything done? Like Darcy been finished for a while. Okay, Darcy. But yeah, these it goes so freaking fast, and that's what I'm saying. Like, why do you have this block when you're making socks? They go just it's socks. It's the same thing. It is the same thing. I mean, you don't have to split for a thumb gusset. You don't have to, you just it's a sock. You just decrease, do your toe, put in your afterthought heel, and boom, you done. You done. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know what is the mental thing with me in knitting socks. I just don't know. At least you don't have a Luna in your life today dictating what you're going to be doing. But I had so much fun with her today, though. So I can't begrudge it. It was a lot of fun. And she was tickled. It was exciting to her. Every time I finished a piece for that little ugly doll baby, she was excited. And her mama was trying to get my husband to make some lasagna. Lasagna. he watching football. So this is not going to be monetized because I'm pretty sure YouTube will say something about it. Because my door ain't shut. I got to get me another cord from my extension cord for my heater, my new heater, so I can bring it into the room and shut the door. That way I don't have to hear his foosball. He ought to put his headphones on and listen to it that way. Is anybody else broadcasting yet? Let's see. No, I don't. With Juan, the yarn addict, and the scrap tested crocheter alive. Oh, I'm getting tired and sleepy now. And I gotta make a list. I just need to make a list and just cross stuff off. I probably feel more satisfied when I go do stuff out there in my yard. I cross stuff off as I go. But I think sometimes lists can make you feel disappointed if you don't get, stuff you expect to get done. So right now, just take anything I get done on the things that I see that I need to do as a win. So I think I need to think about it like that. He planted garlic yesterday. What variety? I still got that clove I need to take outside and plant. I had two, and I think my husband cooked one of. It's the pretty purple stripe one that I saw in the commissary, and I got two of them to plant, and only one of them is left on top of the. So I think when he made stir fry, he used one of them. Maybe I can do that tomorrow. Just take that clove and run out there and stick it in the dirt. Maybe put some water in the bag since some of the grow bags look a little dry. Okay. Yeah, when we go to the commissary, sometimes I'll see like the Japanese yams, the purple yams, stuff like that, and I grab some to plant. We eat most of it though. What I do harvest, um, usually end up getting eaten. I need to start saving some back as far as like the yams and the potatoes and stuff like that. Like I have plenty of seeds. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get more tubers. Like I ordered some more oka, South American yams to plant. And I already got the sunchokes, which is the Jerusalem artichokes. I already got those, and I got my turmeric. I got to get some more ginger um, for this year, and so I'm trying to get more tubers, more root vegetables, and do more like acorn squash, squash that store well, so that we stuff like that, and probably just start doing more roasted veggies and things that we grew, without having to go to. So, oh, you hungry? We'll roast you some squash and um, bake you a piece of chicken and chop it up and add it on top of the squash and stuff it with some rice and raisins or something. Just something different and something easy, and where you're not having to go to the grocery store and get a lot of complicated stuff. And using your meat as a condiment, not as the main meal. The main meal is going to be that squash or the potato or sweet potato, whatever. And you're just learning different ways to cook and make a tasty meal that don't involve having all that meat. And it's something you grew. It's not something from the store. Because I've been adding the Jerusalem artichokes I grew this year. I've been adding them to the stews and that I've been making, and they don't know it's not a potato, or they just know there's something different in there that's potato like. Girl, I have some seeds for cushaw. I didn't grow any this past year, but I like growing the cushaw, and I get them when they're young, when they're about the size of a regular crookneck squash or something, and I add them to stir fry, or I'll like fry up some onions with it, and it is so good when it's young, and it's sweet when they're young like that. They're sweet, but I like making cushaw pies too. I used the last of my cushaw pie, the last of the cushaw I grew like 3 years ago. I used the last of it last year making pies. I had one that was like, well, how much that thing weighed? Like 40 pounds. It was huge. That cushaw I grew was huge, and there was like 3 or 4 of them. I gave one to my dad, but there was 3 or 4 of them, and they were huge cushaw. And I got so much meat out of it. Well, I call it the meat, the inside of the squash. I got so much of it. I had bags of it in my freezer. And I was using it in stews. I was using it in soups. I was using it in pies. And I used the last bag last year making pies. Yes, you can eat them while they're little. And what I do is, because on the vine, because if you want to get some big ones, then you want to pull off some of those smaller ones. But I wait until they get about the size of a regular squash. And then that's when I pull them off and use them for yes, that thing is huge. The pink squash is huge. It's like a watermelon, like a watermelon size. But those are supposed to be real sweet too. I had seeds for those, but I didn't use them. Those seeds don't last long. Well, it could have been just the seeds that people sent me. Um, but when I went to plant them, the seeds were already breaking apart, so they did not store well. So I need to get some more of those and some more cushaw. I might have some cushaw seeds though. I need to check my seed stash. But yeah, um, the Southern Seed Exchange on Etsy. I've never had any problems with any of their seeds. So you might want to check them as a source for seeds for you. I get seeds from them all the time, and I've never had a problem with their germination or anything on Etsy. And I ordered a tree tomato from this place out in Washington State. Let me see if I can find the name of it, because I want to try those this year. Wanderlust Nursery. So I ordered a tree tomato from them and the oka from them. Yep, yep. I love Southern Seed Exchange. I'm very, very happy. I order from them now. Usually when I want different seeds and stuff, I go to them on Etsy. I've never had a problem with Southern Seed Exchange. And Wanderlust Nursery was recommended to me when I was asking around at the Virginia, the Tidewater, Virginia, what's it called? It's a group on Facebook of local gardeners in my area, and one of them recommended them for the oka because they said that's where they got their tree tomato from, and that they sometimes check their site for like different seeds for different trees and stuff because they like starting their trees from seeds and stuff. But I did just to see if it would happen. I took some apple seeds from these apples we had gotten from the exchange. They were so good. I just put the seed in a pot in my because I have a bunch of my plants in the bathroom, and so I had a pot that had some. It's a succulent. I stick the succulents in there to root them, and I just threw a couple of apple seeds in there to see if they would come up, and they did. I've ordered from Me Gardener before in my garden. I ordered from them before. I ordered from there's another seed company. Oh, what were their name? The Yellow Dog. Yellow Dog. That's what it called. Yellow Dog. I ordered from him. Um, I've never had problems with his seeds, and but yeah, and some of the ones that I like ordering from this time between now and February and March, they're gonna be selling out of a lot of stuff. So if you want to get it, you better go ahead and get it now. And they have some good sales right now too at the Southern Seed Exchange. I think I had like, let me see, in my cart right now, I have from them, I have $99 worth of seeds in my cart, but with their discounts right now, it's only coming up to $60. And I got like 26 or 7 things in my cart right now. And then I have some other people, some stuff I wanted to try, like the Ethiopian kale. I wanted to try that. And I wanted to try the wild leeks this year. They're perennials and some more tree collars. I wanted to try those. Then like the Malabar spinach, some more kale because I've noticed that the Lacento kale, the bugs don't bother it like they do the rest of my Eastern Siberian kale and stuff. I got maybe three harvests off of those before those white cabbage butterflies found it and it destroyed it just within a matter of a week and a half. It's like I couldn't keep on top of those bugs, and I tried using neem oil. I tried. I didn't want to use any harsh chemicals. I just tried using the dimensions earth by itself, and I just could not stay on top of them freaking cabbage butterflies. I was like, because I don't have any nets set up. So that's one of the things I want to invest in is getting the hoops and setting up like netted areas for um for my brassicas to protect them from the cabbage butterflies. I don't understand. I don't see nobody in my area gardening. So I'm like, where are these butterflies coming from that they just come and finding me? I don't be seeing nobody growing no collards and cabbages and stuff in my neighborhood. But them butterflies, wherever they coming from, they be looking for me. They find me. Hey, crossover, how are you doing? Yes, buddy. And my carrots, they didn't do anything for me. Now I haven't ever grown any of the Lectica winter squash. Have you grown those before, Felicia? But I've heard people talking about how good they taste. Let me see. I'm so glad they made it so that you could go to people's channels again and subscribe to them. I don't know why they got rid of it to start with. I mean, if you got somebody in your channel and you want to go check them out and you want to go to their channel, and they added it back over there so that you can go to people's channels and stuff, and resubscribe to them. Because, like, I have noticed that a lot of the people I was subscribed to, that YouTube dropped me off people's channels that I was subscribed to. Some of the people. And I'm like, I know who I want to be subscribed to. If I want to unsubscribe from them, I will unsubscribe from them. I do not need your algorithm or your bots. Oh, you don't comment on their channel, so I'm going to unsubscribe you from them. That don't matter. I watch their videos. I watch their videos all the way through. You know what I'm saying? So shouldn't my viewership, shouldn't me watching their videos count for something? Just because I don't comment, you shouldn't be going and unsubscribing me from people. Type the word purple crossover and it'll post a link to your channel. Nightbot will drop a link to your channel if you type the word purple. So y'all can share yourselves out. But yeah, YouTube, you don't need to unsubscribe me from somebody's channel. Nope, you sure don't. I can do it myself if I want to. I don't need no help. I think I'm old enough. I reached the ripe old age of 53. I'm old enough to unsubscribe myself from somebody's channel if I feel like it. Well, we getting there. So that's how far we've gotten since I added my stitch marker. So I still got about another inch to go before I have him try it on, just to make sure he gives me his thumbs up to let me know whether or not I have reached his optimum length. But yeah, I want to try the Dialectica squash this year. I want to my spaghetti squash was so good that I grew. So I want to grow some more spaghetti squash. I only got that one though. I only had that one spaghetti squash. And it was a volunteer from somewhere because I didn't plant no spaghetti squash. So it had to be mixed in when I planted my yellow cucumbers, the little round yellow cucumbers, the lemon cukes. So the spaghetti squash seed was mixed in with the lemon cuke seeds. And I only got the one spaghetti squash out of all that vine. But it was so freaking good. So good. So I want to grow some more spaghetti squash this year. So once we finish cannibalizing and moving that mulch pile, getting all the compost from out of there and getting it moved, that area that where it was at is where I'm going to be just throwing down some pumpkin seeds and some spaghetti squash seeds. If I get some more cushaw seeds, I'll throw them down there too. Just let that be the vine zone. Cause I gotta grow more stuff that youngest daughter can partake of, because she's mostly a vegetarian. She will eat some meat if I cook certain foods. Now she's gonna eat some, but she's mostly a vegetarian most of the time. All right, y'all. I done been up here long enough, and so somebody else needs to go live, so I can go hang out with y'all while I keep working on these mittens. And when I finish them, I'll be doing a short. And yeah, so y'all take care, and I'll see y'all soon. So somebody else needs to go live and spend Christmas Eve with us. Who's it gonna be? Who is it gonna be? Who's volunteering? Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. Y'all take care.